Well, happy Wednesday from San Diego, California. I'm CBS 8 meteorologist Vanessa. The heat will be on repeat for the next several days across Southern California, including for us here in San Diego County. Here's what you need to know as we kick off the second half of the work week. Weather headlines: the inland heat wave takes hold all the way through the latter part of the work week. By 10 o'clock, everyone was under either a heat advisory or an excessive heat warning, with the exception of the coast. And we will get some relief from these very warm temperatures, but it won't be until the weekend. And even by the weekend, temperatures will be shaved off just a few degrees and it will still be warm and above average. So the reason why this is all happening, we have that ridge of high pressure, also known as a dome of warm air, making its way to the surface. It is going to strengthen, expand, moving westward in the coming days, and that's going to usher in some very warm temperatures. Also increase offshore flow, meaning those winds are going to be more out of the east, and that will kind of give us a cutoff from that marine layer, which typically acts as our natural air conditioner from the coast all the way towards the inland valleys. So here's what we're looking at in terms of watches, warnings, advisories. You could just see how impactful that ridge of high pressure is when it comes to triggering red flag warnings, extreme heat warnings, as well as heat advisories. As we go ahead and zoom on in to Southern California, in particular San Diego County, that heat advisory took place at 10 o'clock, as well as the extreme heat warning. Both will expire until Friday night. What that means is these areas highlighted in the orange color, those who are sensitive to heat, including children, those elderly, susceptible to heat-related illnesses, or those without adequate cooling systems, should minimize time outside and also find ways to cool off. The valleys will get up to 90 degrees at times, and the mountains will be in the mid to upper 90s as well. The extreme heat warning will be blanketing all of these areas you see highlighted in the magenta, and that means that everyone, the entire population of the desert communities, should heed the warning of the heat advisory and the impact it will have, meaning that everyone should minimize time outside and make sure that they are staying cool and staying in air-conditioned buildings if possible. So the heat wave will take place all the way through Friday. We are expecting, again, hot temperatures, the hottest temperatures for interior parts of the county. You should minimize time outside, and then of course also be mindful because fire danger will be elevated for the next coming days because we have lack of rain. We haven't seen much rain in terms of our water year. We're still in a major deficit. So here's what's going to happen today. Today temperatures are going to rise mostly close to 80 degrees for the coastal communities. Typically we see highs in the mid 70s. So in comparison to what we saw earlier this week, will be about 5 degrees warmer. So for the inland valleys, temperatures will rise to the 90s. Yesterday we saw some 90s. Today we'll see a lot more 90s for the inland communities. Tonight isn't going to cool off by much. In fact, we'll stick in the high 60s, low 70s from the coast all the way towards the mountain areas, which won't give us a lot of relief from the heat, especially when it comes to those sundown hours. Taking a look at tomorrow's highs versus where we should be for this time of the year, daytime highs will be anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average. Here's a quick look at the coastal 7-day forecast. We'll be seeing some of the hottest days Thursday and Friday. Temperatures cool down a little bit, but still really warm in the mid to high 70s by the time we get to the weekend. Our days of concern are going to continue to be Thursday and Friday, especially for the inland valleys. And then we'll be back in the high 80s by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. But these highs are actually still really warm. So just make sure that you're using a caution, especially, you know, a lot of people like to take advantage of the outdoors when it comes to the weekend. Just make sure that you're doing that walk or a hike when it's really early and the coolest.